Good evening to another episode of Quest Books from Rashad. Let's get into the Bible study time. Get into the Spirit Study Bible, chapter 7, 2 Kings, chapter 8, 2 Kings, verse 1, chapter 8, 2 Kings. Now Rashad had said to the woman whose son he had restored to life, "Go away with your family, stay for a while wherever you can, because the Lord has decreed a famine in the land that will last 7 years." Decreed a famine, that means that God sent a famine to Israel as a punishment for their apostasy. The author does not say when it occurred, though it was evidently before the judgment on Gehazi, and after the raising of the Shumanite son. It's probably the same famine as the one mentioned in chapter 4, verse 38. Verse 2 says, "Woman proceeded to do as the man of God said. She and her family went away and stayed in the land of the Philistines 7 years." The woman proceeded to do. Because the woman demonstrated sincere faith and remained faithful to God's prophet in a time of general apostasy, the Lord helped her in her time of need. Verse 11 and 12. He stared at him with a fixed gaze until Hazael felt ashamed. Then the man of God began to weep. "Why is my Lord weeping?" asked Hazael. "Because I know the harm you would do to the Israelites," he answered. "You will set fire to their fortified places, kill their young men, the sword dash their little children to the ground, and rip open their pregnant women." The man of God began to weep. The vision from the spirit of revelation. Elisha saw that Hazael would become king of Aram, and perpetrate terrible evil against Israel. Elisha wept because of what was coming upon Israel as a result of the apostasy of man. True man of God, he felt deep sorrow for God who had been abandoned by his people and for those people who now had to suffer severe judgment for their sins. In like manner, Jesus wept over Jerusalem and poured over the church. The words of Elisha do not endorse the future cruelty of Hazael, but only describe the terrible practice of depraved humans in times of war. Right, so that's it for that. Being chapter 9 tomorrow. Now, Christ in the Old Testament, man, this is going to be brief, but it just basically talks about certain things that was fulfilled in the New Testament about what was prophesied in the Old Testament, basically. So it's not that difficult to understand. Obviously, Jesus is real. Everything that was talked about, prophesied in the Old Testament, came true in the New Testament. Like, for example, Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14 talked about the virgin birth of Jesus. It came to pass in the book of Matthew. Micah chapter 5, verse 2, proved that Jesus was to be born in Bethlehem. Matthew provided that evidence. The prophecy of John the Baptist being the forerunner of Jesus Christ was prophesied in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 30. Malachi as well. Zechariah foretelling the triumphal entry of Jesus in Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. That was prophesied in Zechariah. So like it's like these examples right here shows that Jesus is real. Everything that about him was going to come to pass in the New Testament, and it definitely represented that when you look at the Old Testament into the New Testament. So that's basically it for that. So we in chapter 9 on Thursday. I think I'll be on tomorrow. So until then, talk to you soon.